welcome to the Weekend Review, the show that brings you up to date on the week that was. Here are the top stories. RBI hikes rates once again. Inflation is on the rise. And Maruti workers call off strike in Manesar plant. First up, the Reserve Bank of India has increased key rates during its mid-quarter review. As expected, the repo rate was revised up by 25 basis points to 7.5%, and the reverse repo is now at 6.5%. This is RBI's 10th hike since March of last year as a continued effort to curb inflation. Finance Minister Pranab Mukherjee endorsed RBI's anti-inflation monetary measures. Speaking at an ASSOCHAM banking conclave on Friday, he said that the major challenge was to contain the price rise. The finance minister also admitted that the Reserve Bank's policy may impact growth, but stressed that it was necessary. Going by the inflation figures for May, there is more reason for the policymakers to be worried about price rise. The country's wholesale price index, or the WPI, jumped 9.06% in May, which was higher than expected. The WPI was 8.66% in April. Surprisingly, one of the drivers of inflation in May was manufacturing. Manufacturing inflation during the month shot up 7.27% compared to 6.18% in April. On the bright side, fuel and power inflation is easing despite hikes in some prices. The fuel price index was just 12.32% on a year-on-year basis. That's compared to 13.32% in April. Food inflation also eased marginally. India's food price increased by 8.96% in the period to the 4th of June. The previous week, it had gone up by 9.01%. The moderation of food prices is expected to continue due to prospects of a good monsoon. On the brighter side, going by the advanced tax numbers, corporate India seems to be in good shape. According to numbers released earlier this week, payments from 100 companies based in Mumbai grew 14% in the quarter ending June. ICICI Bank paid 390 crores, an increase of 11.42% compared to the same period last year. And the country's biggest bank, SBI, paid 1100 crores, an increase of 29%. Reliance Industries was second. It paid some 38% more during the quarter, turning in 900 crores. Companies pay advance tax every quarter based on what they expect to earn. Moving on, after almost 2 weeks of standoff, the strike at Maruti Suzuki's Manesar plant has been called off. The protesting workers and the company reached an agreement to end the deadlock late on Thursday night. India's largest car maker has agreed to take back 11 sacked employees, but turned down the demand to form an independent union. The strike has resulted in a revenue loss of nearly 550 crore rupees and a production loss of over 12,600 cars. Despite the favorable news, Maruti's stocks continued their downward trend and fell by 1.9% on the BSE on Friday. GVK Infra and Power may soon own coal mines in Australia. In what will be one of the largest overseas coal mine acquisitions, the company will purchase 2 of Hancock Prospecting's coal mines in Australia. Mint learnt that the initial agreement is signed by both the parties. The deal would cost about $2.4 billion. The mines in question are Tad's Corner and Kevin's Corner in Queensland. Both have an annual capacity of 30 million tons. More news from the power sector. NTPC is making fresh moves in its bid to revive 2 stalled power projects. It has got Russian firms Technoprom Exports and Power Machines to commit to new deadlines. Mint has learned the commitments were extracted last month when NTPC officials visited Russia. The 2 projects in question have been delayed for 3 years now. And here are some stories in brief. UK-based oil explorer CAIRN Energy has announced a sweeping board shake-up on Thursday. Company founder and Chief Executive Officer Bill Gamel will now step up to the role of chairman. CAIRN Energy is currently battling to complete the planned sale of most of its stake in its Indian subsidiary, CAIRN India, to Vedanta Resources. INDIGO Airlines will soon fly to newer skies. The low-cost airlines will launch its international operations in September. INDIGO currently has a fleet of 39 aircrafts but has placed an order of 180 more Airbus A320s. Also shopping for more aircrafts was Go Air. The managing director of the airline, Jahangir Wadia, announced that the company has placed an order for 72 A320s. The Central Bureau of Investigation on Friday opposed the bail of DMK MP Kannimori and Kalaingar TV MD Sharat Kumar. Earlier in the week, the hearing and bail pleas of Kannimori and Kumar were adjourned till 20th of June in the Supreme Court. The Apex Court has sought details of the scam from the CBI in writing. Finally, the Lokpal Drafting Committee meet on the 15th of June ended amid growing differences. The members of the civil society and the government are likely to submit separate drafts to the Union Cabinet. The government, though, maintains that a final draft of the Lokpal bill would be ready by the 30th of June. And that's all that we have for you. Thanks for watching.